Hi everybody. So I wanted to do the collective reading for the new moon, December 26th, but I just kept getting a bunch of downloads on 2020, and interesting enough, they were aligning with some videos I had posted on Facebook, which magically seems to be disappearing. And Facebook is funny like that, right? And so is YouTube. So anyways, I just want to give this information out. I'm not going to pull out any cards right now. However, I will say the notes that I got, and then from like the research I started getting, it all just started to make sense, right? It's not even that I was researching, it was more like the information was coming to me to like validate, I guess, in a way what I knew inside intuitively already. So in my last video, I was talking about the colors silver, gold, green, and then seeing some like blue and purple, right? And then seeing the raccoon. And, it came to my attention that 2020 is the year of the metal rats. And their color is gold, green, and blue. So that was interesting. And then I just picked up so much when I got the metal rat. I was like, oh my gosh. So raccoon wasn't exactly the same, but within the family. And this is definitely about adaptability, flexibility, courage, and protection in a sense, right? But rats can be kind of sneaky. I've always said, like, rats have the backbone where mice don't. And for me, I've always said, like, rats are like unclean, and also they represent gossip to me. Like if you see them in a dream or something like that, from my interpretation of it from growing up, whenever I would have a dream with like rats or something like that, it was that somebody was gossiping about me, and it was always true. So this could be about possible gossip, collectively, with celebrities, gossip that is going to be revealed, things that's going to be revealed in regards to like Hollywood, right? And so I thought that was interesting. And also I got OA versus AI, 5D versus 5G. Oh, goodness gracious. So I'm just going to read through my notes here so that I don't lose. And then, so it was like, with Facebook, what are you doing or what are you thinking, right? Train of thought, track record. This reminds me of the War of God so much. So 2020 is the year of the metal rats. And the god of iron is, metal. Gold and silver are types of metals, in a sense, right? And they're not iron as he is, but they're metals, okay? And the number 4 breaks down to like culture and the land and stability, and that is why us as a people, we are identified as land, history, and culture. However, we get caught up on skin complexions such as like black and white, but us as a people, we are land, history, and culture, and that is what the number 4 is all about. And it's also like the square, right? So looking at times, and I said we're going into our 4th 333 portal this month, and that breaks down to like 3600. So going 360, going full circle and then going into like the fool's journey, right? And so let me keep going. All right. The United States is the only country without consumers data protection. And what I was getting was metals are in wires, wiretapping, chips, the credit card, your information, cell phones, computers. There's been a lot of Computer Abuse Act, and also things that's going against like federal wiretapping laws. And the god of iron also represents the law. So I also got, and it was funny, weed versus gun laws. So if you are looking to get your card for your marijuana card, that can prevent you from getting a gun. And that's something that you might want to actually consider, being as though I feel like gun laws are going to be changing, and this is why they are pushing the agenda for marijuana to be legalized so much. Okay. Also, my black sun versus inner sun and outer sun video on YouTube, Facebook had gotten deleted, and I was talking about the solar eclipse, the black sun going into the light and the inner sun and the outer sun, and about how this is an obstruction of light, and how they keep pushing the agenda of magic, which is beautiful. I love magic and miracles. However, there are great grand magicians that love to bring illusion out in the world and veil people with what they don't know. And that's kind of like an eclipse if you think about it. And they know how to work their magic, and so they know how to work through the through the darkness, and working with the dark mother energy. And I was saying that if you don't know how to maneuver, this is definitely going to be a time of working with your shadows. But I feel collectively, us as a people, it's going to be extremely important for us to get together, because there is going to be a lot of battles, in a sense, is what I was getting. I said knowing how to, because I got so the black sun, knowing the true sun, going to your inner sun, and you being the light, right? You going into your inner sun. And then I saw the 5 of Swords, which is Venus in Aquarius in the tarot, and we currently have Venus in Aquarius right now. But what I got with that was not like personal conflict with myself per se, but with us as a people having to pick a side and knowing how to pick your battles. And then I got search engines, which is weird to get that together, right? The 5 of Swords with search engines, right? And then I put in parentheses road opener. Search engines are road openers, in a sense, right? Because they open you up to going down different paths with the information that you have, because knowledge is power, in a sense, right? And engines, what are engines? Engines are in trains, engines are in trucks, engines are in cars, etc. So look at the words that they happen to use, keeping a track record on us, how they listen and take pictures through our phones and through these devices to keep track of us. The OA versus the AI, the 5D versus the 5G. I was also getting new vehicles, and building structures that's going to be coming along with this. And also, oh yeah, that was funny. So law, justice, metals. I was talking about cryptocurrency and how our data is the crypto that they are, it's what they are encrypting and selling. So our data is currency, and this is what's going on with technology here. And so with all these abusive acts, these things are going to be coming to light for those that actually know what it is that they're looking for. But this can be an ugly fight, or it can be a beautiful revelation. It's going to really depend on us as a people to wake up together, right? And then I also learned that 4 is the number of like the Ogun in like Yoruba, and he is known as the metal energy, the god of metal as well. So again, that goes back to foundation, that goes back to the land, to culture, and again, gun control, that goes with the law, that goes with justice. Okay. This is so crazy. I just want to make sure I'm looking at all my notes. Yeah, so protecting your data, recording with audio devices and with cameras. This is even violating your children's privacy, where if you have it in the room, these things don't ever really shut off. They listen on command. They take pictures when your phones are off, and etc. And wires. What are wires? Wiretapping. What is wires made out of? Metals, right? These computers, what they're made out of, little metal pieces. And so all of this is going to involve our technology shifting. It's going to bring about greater truths, but again, it's going to bring conflict while the unveiling of the mind is happening here. Okay. And I also got, how could you nurture yourself as a mother, which was interesting. I think that was the dark mother tapping in here and saying, like, be strong, be courageous. And how would you nurture yourself as a mother during these times of conflicts, during these times? So I really do feel like 2020 is going to be a beautiful new beginning, right? Like, as the Fool's Journey, it's the Fool's Journey. It's taking risks and going about it. But if we don't take risks, what do we know how we're going to move forward? How are you going to allow yourself to start on a new journey and a new beginning? You have to take a risk into the unknown, right? But at the same time, it's also talking about risky situations. It's also talking about naivety versus ignorance. It's talking about going into unknown territories, and also having faith, right? So I feel like the having faith part is really us tapping into our Akashic records versus like the AI records that they have, and why there's all these fires and storms and everything that's happening. I really do feel like we're gonna have to really rely on our intuition. We're gonna have to collectively collaborate with each other, or we should, at least. I'm not a person that should say we should do this and we should do that. You could do what you want, but I really strongly advise that collectively we gather as much information we can, and it's gonna be about picking sides. So this goes back to my dream where I was like, oh, the movie Diversion, the building structures, and technology shifting and changing. It was just so much that we should be aware of, right? Because the Fool, at the same time, there's a lot that we're not going to be aware of, because it's unknown territory, it's new grounds, it's a new beginning, it's a new era, right? So we're talking about the age of Aquarius, which is the age of knowing, and Aquarians are all about that from the stars, bringing in the truth of the heavens, in a sense, and balancing it here with earth. And this is why they are air sign. However, they are also the water barriers, and the rats is connected with yang energy, and also connected with water. right? So there's a balance in that. However, when you think of the stars and you think of emotions, I could think of, the star seeds. I think of crown chakra, heavenly information that's in our waters, in our genetics, in our DNA, Akashic records, okay, and our intuition guiding us being a little bit more. Oh, and another word I got with the rat was alertness. And I kept feeling like we already been getting a lot of like missing children alerts. I can't recall what those are called right now. But there's going to be a lot more alerts on the phone to be mindful of. So definitely, and protection was a main thing I was getting, y'all. A main thing I was getting. And so being more attentive to observing your environment, being aware and alert without kind of being paranoid in a sense, right? To hold your ground. And I'm not saying any of this to like scare anybody or anything like that, because like, I mean, for example, them selling our data and coming up with so much cryptocurrency, technology, money changes in a sense, right? In a sense, right? To make sense, we gotta make dollars, right? To make dollars, we gotta make sense, vice versa, right? Because I mean, if we gotta make sense, we gotta have some metals in it, regardless of how it looks, whether it's technological metal, gold coin, and I was talking about the gold coins actually. So anyways, and then these things add up to dollars. So anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, the selling of the data and the currency, which currency, waves, water. Damn, don't go over my head. It was with the 5 of Swords. What were you showing me with the... Okay, let me see. Maybe it's in my notes. Here, hold on a second. Data protection. No, where's the 5 of Swords energy? Where was that? Those notes. Okay, conflict. I just put about the cameras. Having and selling sensitive information. Oh, what was it? Diversion. Cryptocurrency. Oh, okay, yeah. So, like, although these are things to be mindful of and to be aware of so that you could pay attention to the signs, these are also going to be the new ways of technology and of this matrix, in a sense, is what they're trying to make of it, right? And so it's really going to be about 2020. The 0 is the cipher, is the wholeness, but it's also a space in between. So it's like, again, OA versus AI, or 5D versus 5G. What are you? Who are you? Which side are you going to be on? What are you going to feed more? Because where attention goes, energy flows. And these are going to be the new ways, possibly, if we all feed into it. And then it can lead into a certain timeline, which unfortunately, because a lot of people don't really pay attention to these things, it looks like that's the timeline we're jumping on. But there are gonna be ways that I don't even want to say that. Yeah. just be mindful. And again, because it's gonna be the new wave, and cryptocurrency is something that's been out already. A friend of mine's have been talking about this for quite some time now, and I was just like, yo, like, you was on point with it, but even more so now, like, even more. So it's limited. Oh, and I can't, it is limited, but it is, things are gonna change with that, and that's all I'm gonna say with that. I also was getting, with the raccoon going under the sewer, I got something about like Underground Railroad, and then it was like, no, underground cities. So that was very interesting, and I'm gonna leave this at that. For the eclipse energy, I'm going to strongly recommend that you take time for yourself and really get to know yourself, okay? Because these devices are learning different aspects of yourselves, in many different ways, and sometimes, you know, they may know you more than you know yourself, and it's going to be extremely vital for you to do that. So I thank you. Peace. That's my message.